What a beautiful day. Isn't that a magnificent view of the lake? We arrived last night, I don't know, about 8:30, just as it was getting dark. And I hooked up all the water. It was great. Just got up this morning, turned the water on, and everything was frozen. It dipped to about -3, -4 last night. Thankfully, it didn't hurt any pipes, didn't split anything. I guess I was a little anxious. I knew it was going to be a little cool last night. But such is life. All is well. I've turned the hot water on for my wife so she can have a hot shower this morning. And today, we're going to plant some trees. Along this area here, I have planted cedar after cedar after cedar. And the deer have completely mowed them off. Like right now, when you look, you'll see a few spindly looking limbs sticking up, but just about no cedar. Oh, there goes a pileated woodpecker doing his territorial, banging his head on the wood. And all the way up through, you can see clear through to that shed. I have planted all sorts of white cedar in there, and they've just mowed them off, especially last winter. They even pulled the tops off some of them that were 5 feet high. They somehow got a hold of them in the snow and pulled them down. And so I've got quite a few white spruce that we dug up at my brother-in-law and sister-in-law's place, and we're going to transplant them here. So I guess we'll go for a walk and get some trees. Well, here are the spruce we planted. We managed to find 48. So now I'm going to head off into the bush, and I'm going to dig up a few white pine and plant a few of them as well. Hopefully these spruce will grow up into a nice lush thick hedge and make up for all the cedar that the deer have decimated. Here's a view of the lake. So here we are walking in the stand of red pine. And through the pine there's all sorts of trails like this where it's a little bit of sun in, and that's where we find the white pine seedlings. But unfortunately, where it's easy for the deer to walk, they also like to come and they feed on the white pine. And if you can see here, terminal branch has been eaten off, and that branch has been eaten off, and that branch have been browsed. But check this out. Here's a balsam fir right beside it, not touched in any way. So the challenge in here, there's quite a few pine seedlings or little pine trees, but unfortunately the deer really like to eat the tops off these white pine. So I've probably passed up 100, and so far I think I have 8 maybe in the truck. So we'll keep walking and we'll find some more, I hope. I've just dug a tree out of here, and check this out. The ground is still frozen. I wonder, why is it so hard to dig this tree? And it's because, there we go, there's the ice. It's all still frozen. But I did manage to get a nice tree, although it's been browsed on some of the branches. The terminal is in good shape, and that's really what I'm looking for. And here's a nice little pine, again, that the deer have browsed off. It's amazing, isn't it, when you think of all the trees that they could eat. They don't like balsam fir, they don't like spruce, they absolutely love cedar. And along here, they sure like to nip the tops off, the tender growth on these young white pine. Well, I managed to get 9 little white pines. So we're going to go back to the cottage tonight, or right now actually. Hopefully within about an hour they'll be in the ground. And the weatherman's calling for ½ inch of rain tomorrow, 12 to 15 millimeters. That'll be just perfect after planting all these trees this weekend. I almost hate to leave here. It's so beautiful. There's no black flies, no mosquitoes yet. Walking in the woods is an absolute treat. No leaves on the trees so you can see well. I've seen all sorts of old scrapes and rubs from last year. And yeah, what a beautiful night. I just marvel at creation. Isn't this absolutely gorgeous?